Don't spray things down there though to smell good. Hello honeys, it's Yolz and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video because we are answering all your girl talk questions today. And girl, y'all went deep. There's one reoccurring question that hopefully I'll address today and just put it to bed. But yeah, we'll talk about it. Let's start off with the first question, but before we do, let's get the jingle going. Of course, if you do enjoy these kind of videos, definitely subscribe, give this video a massive thumbs up, and join the Yolz Channel family. Let's go. Hey there. It's Yolz Channel. Alright, let's try and make these quick fire questions because wow, I'm hungry. I'm having a donut. I probably shouldn't because I'm hungry, but hubby just walked into the house with this. I'm gonna eat it. So question 1, how safe is it to steam the yoni? I actually don't believe in like doing anything to the vajayjay simply because it is meant to clean itself. It is meant to do all, like everything that functions in your body has got a certain code that God has created it to follow. Unless a doctor says this doesn't function this way as it should, then change it or then modify it or then enhance it. You're free to do whatever you want to do, but I'm a big believer in leaving things as they are if they're functioning just as they should, right? I haven't seen anybody since the big trend, its peak, doing it again. Like there was a year where everyone was steaming their VJJs and then all of a sudden it just went dead silent. For me personally, I've never done it. I'll probably never try it. I just don't like dealing with her in a way that possibly shouldn't be dealt with. Like, where is it coming from in terms of our ancient histories? Did our ancestors do this? I mean, me, my DNA, me myself, me being South African black child, like I can't see my ancestors doing this back then. I feel like they left things as they were, and if things were not broken, they didn't try and fix it. That's my take on it. My take on a pap smear: definitely do it if you can. Get yourself checked out once a year. It's really good. Shaving is hard, but fair to tips on how to go about that, like shaving down there. Look at other options. If you don't like shaving, try waxing, try laser. There's also what's that called, epiderming, that machine that pulls the hair out, almost like a tweezer, but a lot of like tweezers all together in there. It's like a rolling tweezer in a sense, but it pulls the hair from the root, so you could try that. You can trim, you can use hubby's shears. not his but as in go to the men's aisle at Discharge and buy the stuff that they shave with. It's actually more gentle than the razor that we shave our armpits with, so try and get those. The Philips one blade is amazing. Try it. And you don't have to go all the way up your bum. You can then use the one that you use for your armpits for that, the one, those big ones, or whichever, the cheapies, man. You can use that up your bum if you really want a, is it a Brazilian or Hollywood? But basically if you want a full clean, you can do that. Otherwise, waxing is also a good option where somebody else does it for you, or you could do your own. There are tons of how to make sugar wax videos here on YouTube. You could do that. Babes, it's really, there's tons of options, but again, also with options, explore the option of leaving things as they are. Try it for a month and see if that works for you. Don't do things for him only, okay? That's my opinion. Well, what's the best way of taking care of your coochie in terms of discharge and bad smell? Washing her with plain water. Clean water really does, and there shouldn't be a bad smell. Everybody has got their own smell. Know your smell when you are, it's not foul. This definitely shouldn't be foul. You should also know when things are really bad. Go and see a doctor if you need to. It could be an STI. I've heard of people who have found out that their partner is cheating on them just purely because all of a sudden down there, I'm not smelling as fresh as I know I should be, and your odor is your freshness. Please note that. I think there's also this thing that society has created, uguti women should smell a certain way. How? There's no way you can smell like sunshine and roses down there. There's just a general clean smell that you should have, and know that that's it. But there's also, after your period, your pH could be imbalanced in some sort of way. Know when that is as well, and try and maybe not have hubby release things in there during that time, where you can tell ukuthi no man andicorrect higher. You can use protection, you can pull out, you can do a lot of other things to sort of not cause a further imbalance or a smell or an odor. If you know right now my pH is just off, you would know, you should know your body. Don't wear undies at night when you go to bed, just so that your sweat glands can get a break and not get so overheated that you have to sweat. Maybe in certain clothes also let her breathe at times. Make sure that you're wearing undies that have got cotton, like cotton undies there, just so that she can breathe. She needs to breathe, you know. And it could also be why there's bad smells in general. The other thing is, don't wear any tampons when you're not on your period. That could definitely cause infections and bad odor. Panty liners, wear them when you need to. Anything that's not natural, for me, is that could be part of why our bodies go through so many different cycles. We do a lot to it. We wear a lot of things that are not necessarily the most natural to our bodies and conducive for it to flourish. So try and limit that. And if you are using things like intimate soaps, which I used to do, intimate washes, I stopped all of that because I realized it really takes my pH up and down, up and down, up and down. Just notice that I lento, maybe the intimate wash and yes, but I personally believe in water, just water. Contraceptives, what has been your experience with them? I have had zero experience with contraceptives still. Yes, in my 30 years I still have not taken any contraceptives. There are other questions around contraceptives, like what is my take on them. I think you do you, and for me personally, I've never seen the need for it. As a teenager and in my early 20s, I just abstained from sex. That was how I prevented. I don't mind getting pregnant right now in my life, and when I was younger, the control that I did have was to just not have sex. Hormonal imbalances, if you're on a contraceptive, go to your gynae and find out what contraceptive you can take that can either rebalance your hormones or take out whatever is causing the imbalance, because maybe you are taking a contraceptive that's causing that. But yeah, some people take contraceptives to actually balance their hormones. So I can't really say, but visit your doctor and find out. What do you prefer between pads or tampons? Tampons, definitely. I get my period twice a month and my period pains are very hectic. Should I visit a doctor? Yes, definitely. Do you prefer scented or unscented sanitary pads? I use very few pads and they're always unscented. How many times do you think one should change a panty liner? Try and change it as often as you can, and if you don't need it, don't wear it. In the day, at least 3 times, like throughout the day. And then if you're gonna sleep with one, definitely try and put it on just before you sleep, not like go 8 when you know you're gonna sleep at 11. If you're gonna put on one at 8 p.m, if you're gonna sleep at 11, change that one at 11 and put a new one on at 11. No, you're gonna sleep the whole night with that thing. You know, I always think of like, just I don't like the idea of things cooking up down there. Hey mama, how are you? Are you in a good space? Thank you for asking. I am really well. You know, I get this question a lot. I think last year, having gone through a lot of grief, not just losing my dad, but the friendship that I lost last year, I wasn't in a good space last year. For at least the first part of the year was really hectic for me. I am healing still, and I think I've healed at least from the person that I was last year. There was a lot of change that was going on. But am I in a good space now? Absolutely. I am in such a good space. I think we live in a world where if somebody's not showing up on social media, something's up, something's wrong, something is going on. And to be quite honest with you, this is the time where I'm living my best life. A lot of things have changed. I'm actually not even in Joburg. And people don't even know this, but hey, now you know. And it's been months, you know, going on to 7 months. Those who know. It's just been good for me to also step out. Sometimes your environment is the problem, and I think last year the environment was probably largely contributing to a lot of, or adding to the pain that I was in last year. I was in a lot of pain, so I'm definitely much better far. The only thing that I'm looking for right now and I'm still seeking is a home, a Christian home, a church. So yeah, I think spiritually there's just that void of family and the gathering of the saints. The city that I'm in right now, I'm still looking, because you know, so I'm kind of looking for a space where, yeah, a spirit-filled house of God. That's what I'm seeking. What is your take on Christian lady dating a guy that's divorced with 2 children? Girl, pray. You know, the biggest thing about society, we all have opinions, we all have our ways. Just like I said, because it's a situation, I might be judging you in that emphasis or that gesture alone, but the only person who really knows your future is the one who wrote it. The writer of your story knows where you should be, where you should be going, and who your Boaz is. Who knew that Ruth would be in the position that she was in, you know? Had she not lost her husband, and how painful that probably was. In reality, when I think about it, Ruth was in a lot of pain, but her story was turned in such a beautiful way by the one who wrote her story, the author and the finisher of her faith, God himself. So pray about it and make sure that you are led in anything that you do. That's really my advice. There are certain things that you don't need my personal opinion, you don't need your friend's opinion, you don't even need your mother's opinion. You need the one who wrote your story. I love you, Umhle. Thank you. Have you ever felt isolated by friends? In primary school, yeah, one of my very first friendship breakups were because these girls just didn't, I don't know, they were just funny with me. And it takes a day to realize. It doesn't take a long time. Believe people. When they show you who they are, believe them, please. How do you deal with a friendship break? My best friend stopped talking to me without telling me why. Well, find out why and move on. That's probably the best. If you are still in the dark and she doesn't want to respond to that, cut it, move on. It's easier said than done, of course. It's painful, but you'd rather save yourself the heartache of somebody coming back and doing that to you over and over again. We are not yo-yos, please. We are not punching bags, please. No. We say we want soft life, but it doesn't apply to friendships. No. Soft life should also apply to friendships, please. Does sleeping in your birthday suit not force you to change or wash your bedding often due to discharge? Well, no. Firstly, you should be washing your bedding pretty often. At least like change it every 2 weeks. Some people change it every week. It's really up to you, but your discharge doesn't, it's not like a flood of water, so you won't necessarily find it on your bedding generally, at least for me. When I'm ovulating, then I would wear a panty liner, but I just don't like sleeping in underwear. It's just not comfortable. In fact, wearing underwear should be saved for that time of the month only. For me. What do you do with your old underwear? Do you burn it or chuck it in the bin? Burn. I do not want my undies, somebody digging in the bin and running into them. I just don't like the idea. And people do weird-ish. Like, the spiritual realm is real, y'all. So if you are a Christian and you're like, I don't believe in witchcraft, read the Bible. Sorcery is real. That's my opinion, honestly. But yeah, I don't. It's not necessarily just for that reason. It's just I can't imagine somebody maybe picking it up and wanting to reuse it. The purposes of actually just wearing it because they don't have, it's just too intimate. It's just too intimate to reuse, you know. Another person is like naked all day, vaginal discharge. You're not constantly like wet. I don't know, at least for me, ne? But on the days where I'm ovulating, I'll definitely need a panty liner, or I'll have to just make regular visits to the bathroom, make sure that I'm wiping down there. How do you get rid of cellulite on your thighs? I have cellulite and I've never thought of removing it. I just don't see anything wrong with it. But things like exercise can definitely help with things like your skin's elasticity. There are creams for cellulite. I think Nivea has got the Q10 range. Explore that if you really want to. For me personally, I love my little dips and I love my stretch marks. I don't know, maybe I was just born different. I just don't know what's wrong with me or what's right with me. Please recommend a good roll-on deodorant. I sweat a lot in my sleep and wake up with armpit odor. Well, that's strange that you wake up with armpit odor. Let's deal with the odor first. You shouldn't be waking up with armpit odor if you've showered at night and you went to bed with clean armpits. If that is the case, what I can suggest, and I don't know how sensitive your armpits are, but try a bicarb. So take your bicarbonate of soda and just apply that powder on your armpits for about 3-4 days to get that deep clean. So don't use deodorant those 3 days, ne? It's a deep cleanse. Maybe I should do a video on it, and I've tried it before. It actually reduced my sweating, but also in terms of odor there was zero. And when I have acha, you can smell my acha, trust me. So I know that week I tested it, there was absolutely none whatsoever. I wouldn't recommend it for like a permanent solution, but just to get rid of that main odor that's coming out. I don't think that should be there, but I'm not a dermatologist, I'm not a doctor of any sorts. In terms of good roll-ons, Mitchum has really been great. Maybe try switching from a roll-on to a spray, deo perhaps, and they have that. They also have those speed sticks, I believe Nivea has as well. Let me also check for something that might be here. This one over here is also really good. You have to layer it though. It says 48-hour protection, smooth underarms for longer. I have not gotten any discoloration from this. I've just tried it. You can see it's still full, and it works. Like, I mean, at this point I think my armpits have really just regulated. It could be the bicarb soda thing. I tried it 2 months ago and it's really worked for me in terms of just managing odor and sweat in general. So that's what I'd recommend. All the best. But Mitchum really does work. It's funny because I want to eventually move to a natural deodorant. I'm just not ready yet. I don't know if my armpits are, and there's a part of me that's like, maybe you should make one first, Yolz, and then use yours, you know. So that there might be that Yolz Beauty natural deodorant coming soon. Sex toys, if you're comfortable to talk about it, of course. Do you own any? Actually, no, I don't. Am I curious? Yes, I am. Is my husband curious about them? Yes, we are. I just don't think we have the guts to get them. Yes, we were talking about it, but I know I'm very conservative by nature, so it may not be something that happens now. But I think, you know, I just can't imagine being married to someone for 30 years or so, and like how do you keep things spicy then? 30 years? I don't know. So my answer is, I don't see anything wrong with the toys for both of you, as long as they're for both of you. And at the moment, I don't own any. What is your take on self-pleasure? This one's hard because a few of you guys asked about this, and you guys know that the minute you start asking questions, especially from a Christian perspective, on something that just doesn't feel right, it's probably not. I don't think God would have wanted a union of two people if he really wanted a union of one person doing it themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know. I think things are the way that they are because God created them the way that they are, rightfully so. So if sexual pleasure was really meant to be something, originally meant to be something that is between two people, a male and a female, then that's what it is. I've never read it of a situation where, you know, I can't imagine. We obviously can't have this conversation, but maybe we should with the Lord, where we pray and we're just like, well, what do you think, Lord? Should I give myself pleasure? Is this the right way? Top of my head, I don't think it is righteous. That's my answer. Do you believe in religion or spirituality? I believe in having a relationship with Christ. I believe that God loves us so much that he sent his only begotten son to die for our sins, that me, an imperfect, sinful man, you know, was chosen by God himself, and he saw it fit to send his son to die for my wrongs, my sins, my trespasses. So spirituality depends. The world has got so many definitions of spirituality. I don't necessarily subscribe to new age spirituality. I don't subscribe to believing in the universe. I believe in the creator of the universe, but not the universe being God. Idolizing something that's been created as a god, no, I don't. There are still, listen, I'm here. There are still so many questions I have not answered today, and that's scary. Just psh. Anyway, I need to finish my donut. I didn't even touch it. I thought I'd eat here. I am hungry. However, I do hope that you did enjoy my little efforts to answer all your questions. If you have any more questions, ask away in the comment section and I'll be sure to answer them. I love you guys so much. If you did enjoy this video, you know what to do. Give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, and of course, do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Bye.